I have one question. What kind of expectations and concerns do you have about the future of programming education for business person?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so folks that are learning.
I think it is very difficult to become a software engineer.
Yeah.
Software developer, especially after starting the work. Yeah, it is very difficult. But want to become a software developer is all available.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, ideally, if they have the options of starting programming when they are high school students or college students, I feel we can solve this problem. But
absolutely,
too difficult.
Yeah. Well, I can actually use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about like the stuff that exists for people outside of classes in America. So okay, let me just open up Chrome. So here, I'll just open up some of the programs.
Yeah, I know how to create the boot camp.
Yeah, I mean, so sounds like you know a few of these, but like as you know, at least in the U.S., like there are a number of there's also Flatiron. There's like a million of programs like this, but a lot of them are not very good. So the main programs, the boot camp does not exist anymore. So there are a number of programs that currently exist in the U.S. for people that are looking to take an alternative path after they've already been in industry. The most famous of these is probably Hack Reactor, where they take you in. It's like a 6-month intensive. It's about $20,000 to be a part of. All of these programs are very expensive. Flatiron, so Hack Reactor is the main one in the Bay Area. Flatiron is the main one in New York City. Lambda School is a new one that just got started. It's kind of interesting what they do, and what they're famous for is it's all remote, it's all online, so you don't actually attend a physical location. And then they also don't charge for it. They instead take a percentage of your income for your first 2 years of work. So they're incentivized to help you make as much money as possible as a software engineer, because if like they make if you make 100K in your first job rather than 200K rather than 50K, they make more money as a result. So a lot of people talk about them right now. And then Moringa is an interesting one, which is it's right out of the US, but it's in Nairobi, and lots of people are starting to talk about this as well. But yeah, I mean, I think the question is how do we create more programmers in the world, like for folks, especially for folks who are already finished with school, I think the thing that's always going to come down to is community. Like really, I think the thing that Hack Reactor and Flatiron and Lambda and Moringa, when they work more than anything else, what they're providing are other people that are also learning the same stuff as you. And I think the actual content of the classes matters a lot less than the environment that's facilitated. So I think a really interesting question is, well, one, how do we make more communities of people that are currently professionals that are learning programming? Two, for the communities that do exist already, how do we make those communities like 10 times as ambitious? Because if a community is more ambitious, everyone in it is going to become more ambitious as a result, where like people are pushing each other harder and further than they normally would. And I think the third question is, well, could we bring those communities inside of companies? I think a lot of companies, I don't know what it's like in Japan, but in the US, a lot of larger companies are starting the idea of like an inter-startup or like an intra-entrepreneur, where the idea is like instead of thinking about starting a new business unit as just like having someone start a new business unit, you almost think about it in terms of having a startup within the company itself, where you give someone a lot of resources who's like the founder, they have almost complete freedom within the company, they can poach people from other teams, they can hire externally, and they basically start a startup within the larger company itself. There's a 3D printing company that got started that way, I forget the name though. But like, could you do the same for teaching people to program, right? Like, could you build like an intra boot camp? Or like an intra-community of people that are pushing each other inside of a community to learn more, you know? So I think that's a really interesting question. Personally, I think that Lambda is interesting, and I think that some of these are kind of cool, but I think the actual value people get out of these programs is not huge. I think that what it comes down to is community, and when it works, these programs like provide that more than anything else. We share an office with a company called Bradfield School of Computer Science, which I really like. I really like their model. So Bradfield is for people who already know how to program, who want to learn more. Like, say you're a programmer and you're already working as a programmer, but like, what is math? Like, you want to learn math, or you want to learn like operating systems. You want to learn like the like really deep, really technically complex things. So they don't teach you to code. They teach you how to become like great at thinking about computers. So like, do you want to learn how microprocessors work? Do you want to learn assembly, like stuff like that? And it's really good too. So we share the space with them, and they run a bunch of like cool courses. Like, what is machine learning? Like, how does that really work? Not just like how do you learn it, but like what are like the fundamentals? Like, what is the math behind it? Like, let's talk about linear algebra. So we share a space with them, and we really like that. And they're a cool model too, which I really like. I'd love to see more stuff like this. I think it's very easy to get people surface level, but I'm interested in like how do we get people deep, you know? Yeah.